allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And justice for all.
Our politicians.
Ms. Pearl? Morgan? Fuentes? Davis? Coleman? Here. Stewart? Jenkins? Al? Statement of compliance, I hereby certify that a copy of the notice of the meeting was posted in a prominent place to see all copies were delivered. Two newspapers in circulation in the city of Camden, notice of the meeting. Take notice of a regular council meeting of the Camden City Council in accordance with and following such procedure was required by law. Will be held at the City Hall, 520 Market Street, Camden, New Jersey, for which official council member action may or may not be taken. Any motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
Move up.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Fuentes?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Coleman?
Yes.
Stewart?
Yes.
Jenkins?
Yes.
Communication one is the check register, City of Camden, for the year of September 28, 2019 through October 31st, 2019. Your motion?
Second.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Flores?
Yes.
Jenkins? Communications two, payroll register, City of Camden, for the year of September 29 and October 13th, 2017. Ms. Morgan? Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Flores?
Yes.
Jenkins?
Yes.
Communications three, presentations. Do we have any? None? All right, so we'll go with no action on this particular item. Communications three. Old business one.
Let's come out the table.
We'll remove this from the table. Okay, so I need a motion to remove the item from the table, please.
So moved.
First,
Second.
second. To remove the item from the table, Ms. Morgan, Mr. Fuentes,
Yes.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Coleman,
Yes.
Ms. Torres,
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins.
Yes.
Old business one is no action.
Yes.
Old business one, no action. Old business two.
We ask this item be removed from the table.
Need a motion to remove old business two.
Second.
Second.
Who's the first? I'm sorry. Thank you. First, second. Ms. Morgan.
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes.
Yes.
Ms. Davis.
Yes to remove.
Mr. Coleman.
Yes.
Ms. Torres.
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins. Old business two, resolution authorizing the city of Camden to solicit bids for the purchase of various tax sale certificates for less than face value. Motion?
So moved.
First,
Second.
second. Ready to vote, sir? Ms. Morgan. Mr. Fuentes.
Yes.
Ms. Davis.
Yes.
Mr. Coleman.
Yes.
Ms. Torres. Jenkins. Old business three. Do we remove that from the table? Yes. An affirmative.
What?
Old business three, the lights.
No, we don't. We don't keep it on the table. And it should be voted on, returned in, certified, certification of,
Yeah,
right?
we received the information from PSE&G, so you should have all that information that Keith provided, so you can remove this from the table.
Need a motion to remove it from the table, please?
Second.
4 to remove.
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes to remove.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Old business 3 is resolution authorizing the installation of 7 new streetlights. Need a motion?
So moved.
First.
Second.
Second. Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Old business 4. Does that remain?
Now, what is the, remove from the table?
So moved.
First to remove. And second? To remove the item from the table. Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Old business 4, an ordinance. Is that an ordinance?
Yeah.
Old business 4, oh, promise. That the public hearing was held before on this item. So ordinance authorizing the acquisition of certain parts of the land in the city of Camden by the domain for the purpose of construction of the school.
So moved.
First.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Ms. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Are you removing it?
Ordinance, first reading 1.
Are you removing it?
We took action.
Action taken. It's been removed and action was taken on that.
Okay.
Ordinance first reading 1, an ordinance further amending and supplementing supplements to the code of the city of Camden. Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Fuentes?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Coleman?
Yes.
Torres?
Yes.
Ordinance first reading 2, an ordinance owned by the city to execute notices for 3 parcels of land leased by the city in the Cooper Square Renaissance School facility. In connection with Kip Cooper Norcross Avenue Video School.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Fuentes?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins? Ordinance first reading 3, ordinance authorizing the city to execute a deed of consolidation.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Fuentes?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Coleman?
Yes.
Flores?
Yes.
Jenkins?
Yes.
Ordinance first reading 4, ordinance amending and supplementing chapter 3 around the city code to improve the districts and implementing the Camden Business Improvement District.
So moved.
First,
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Jenkins?
Yes.
Ordinance first reading 5, ordinance authorizing vacation of 3.87 feet alley between Kane Avenue and Sycamore Street on the north side of Kane, as more particularly set forth in the attached meets and bounds description pursuant to NJSA 4467-1 et cetera.
So moved.
Second, anybody?
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Ordinance first reading 6, ordinance amending ordinance MC 38 to create a loading and unloading zone at 3516 Federal Street.
So moved.
Second.
Move to the second.
Roll call.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Ordinance first reading 7, ordinance establishing 3 bus stops in the city of Camden at Kane Avenue, Ferry Avenue, and Atlantic Avenue in the central waterfront area.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Ordinance first reading 8, ordinance authorizing removal of handicap parking privileges in certain locations in the city of Camden.
So moved.
First, Ms. Morgan? Is that a yes, Ms. Morgan? Thank you. Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Davis? Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins? Ordinance first reading 9. Ordinance authorizing the approval to move existing signage to a new authorized location.
So moved.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
Thank you. Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins? Ordinance first reading 10, ordinance amending the legal description for ordinance MC-5040 dated March 14, 2017, approving financial agreement to the city of Camden and required preservation of urban renewal.
So moved.
First.
Second.
Second. Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins? Ordinance second reading. Ordinance amending and supplementing ordinance entitled Ordinance Providing for the Regulation of Vehicles and Pedestrians in the Street City of Camden and Enforcement thereof. Ordinance approving a freeway stop at the intersection of King Avenue and Lewis Street.
So moved.
Second.
Hello, Monique Ragsdale, 317 Clinton Street. I just have a question on number 4, where you said the city. On the second reading? All right, no comments on the first then.
You got a first and a second reading of the vote, Council President? Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Ordinance second reading 2, an ordinance authorizing the approval of certain municipal lots in the Dollar Lot.
Open to the public.
So moved.
First.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Ordinance second reading 3, an ordinance designating certain areas of the city of Camden as handicap parking only.
Open to the public. Seeing none?
So moved.
First.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Ordinance second reading 4, an ordinance authorizing removal of certain locations from the Adopt a Lot program.
Open to the public. Seeing none?
So moved.
First. Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Ordinance second reading 5, an ordinance authorizing removal of luminaire poles on Hunter Street for Reverend Evers Park Development Project.
Open to the public. Seeing none?
So moved.
First.
Second.
Second.
Council President, I have a question. Being that we're going to remove the poles, are we going to, replace anything?
Well, on this one, this is a park project, so what they're doing is removing, they're going to replace with the park project for Reverend Evers Park.
All right, so the poles will be, the lighting is going to be replaced.
Yes, some form of that.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Ordinance second reading 6 is going to have to be removed, placed on the table. The problem is that this item was not properly published. So I asked the council if they could just make a motion to table this item. Or take no action. Okay? It's no action, which is no action, and what happens is it'll show up in the next agenda as an item on second reading.
take it off the agenda? Don't you want to table it?
Well, we haven't had the public hearing. We're going to take it completely off the agenda and just replace it next time, for the next meeting. So it won't be removed from this agenda, yes, and it'll show up as probably ordinance second reading 1 on the next agenda, if that's okay. It just won't have the same number.
Is anything changed? Why are we taking it off?
Because it wasn't properly advertised. So it was not properly advertised when the agenda was advertised. You couldn't find it on the agenda. In the newspaper.
So, my question is, does it have to go through a first reading?
It already did. It already did.
I thought you said something was different.
No, nothing is different. It's not substantively different.
Okay.
The only thing that happened is that the law requires an ordinance on second reading to be published in the newspaper.
Okay.
And it was not. The Courier Post failed, unfortunately, to publish it. So they had to republish it for the next meeting. Otherwise, it's not properly noticed to the public.
Okay.
Okay? So is that okay, Madam City Attorney?
Yes.
Is that okay? All right, thank you. We are now, Council President, on the resolutions.
Anyone wishing to speak on resolutions? Come up, say your name and address for the record, please. And the resolution.
Thomas Rapaki, 3615 Westfield Avenue. Resolution number 69.
Yes.
You referenced that it is, it works on a code, chapter 418. 418 is not in existence. Right now, that was a 1987 codification. In 2014, it was changed to 620, chapter 620. So this document is defective with multiple places. In here, it talks about no cost to the, no additional cost to the city on the original piece of paper that your administration sets forth. Then later on in the paperwork, it talks about going to the mayor if they exceed budgets. So if it's no cost to the public, to the city, why do they go back to the mayor and ask for more money? And this is very restrictive in its enforcement because it is only targeting owner-occupied properties if you read this paperwork. Because if you read number 9, the note, it says, shall be construed to apply, nothing in this amendment shall be construed to apply to multiple dwellings, rooming houses, boarding houses, and establishments subject to licensing. So that's owner-occupied properties that they're targeting. And then only 38% of the city is owner-occupied properties. So why are they targeting owner-occupied properties? Why don't they go after the people that post things on our public poles, all these flyers? Why don't the police go and target all these lights that are not out and document that and the potholes in our streets? But they want to go and target our properties just because our grass might be a little overgrown or a window needs to be painted or a window's cracked. I heard stories of people getting cited before for having a cracked window. You know, there's something wrong with this. I hope that you would table this indefinitely. That you table this indefinitely and find out who the authors of this are, because I'd really like to know the incubus of what created this. And why would the police be involved in this, code enforcement? No, it doesn't work that way in a normal society. Is this going to turn into the city of Camden County? That's what it's turning out to be. You know, I normally wouldn't come up and speak anymore because I decided a couple months ago I'm not going to have a heart attack over this stuff. But this is worth coming here to say. There's something definitely wrong with this document. And I don't see how the administration, the corporate council here, would allow this to happen. And I hope City Council, you table this indefinitely so it can never come back again.
Yes. Yes.
This document is defective, even in its wording. you know, we're done playing games in the city of Camden. People are going to uprise. It's coming.
That's right.
Vitamin, what's going on with the mic?
Preach, baby.
It's defective.
Your mic is on.
Vitamin 224, South 27th Street in Camden. Resolution number 69 is unconstitutional.
Yes.
Anything that the Constitution makes, you idiots cannot supersede. We function on constitutional law, and the Fifth Amendment gives us a right to be safe in our homes, with our persons, with our papers. How dare you try? How dare you try to put us under military law?
Yes.
This is the beginning of martial law. Let me tell you, 629 videos. 5 years I've been talking, and my people answered the cry tonight. We ain't going nowhere. It's only going to get worse. Every last one of you need to resign. You've been sitting up there saying yes, yes, yes to anything. After your grandson got murdered, you should have come up with some legislation for our kids. But yet still you're going to send Metro Police on the vagrants, on the homeless, to ticket us, to tax us out, to drive us into court. You have not come up with one initiative to help our babies that die around the schools. You, out of all people, should have legislation about kids. But you don't care about the kids. All y'all care about is working for George Norcross. Every last one of y'all got a county or city job and make damn near $250,000 a year between you and your spouses and your households. You think we don't know why every last one of you have an obligation to speak the language that the people in your community that elected you to do? We're here today to tell you no. And you better not vote yes. And we have the power. We call every last one of us. You think you want to take my co-workers' jobs from public works and give them to some county people? Is that what you think y'all going to do tonight?
Are you speaking on this resolution?
I'm speaking on every resolution that's out here. Not only are the resolutions crooked, you crooked, you crooked, you crooked, you crooked, you crooked. Shout out to Norcross, you don't care about us. But I'm going to tell you right now, what happened in the 70s will repeat itself. We still remember with Metro Police. Let me give you all some statistics. The state report says that if you are white in this city, you are 1.6 times of being arrested by Metro Police. If you are Latino, you are 13.9 times to be arrested and locked up. If you are black, you are 463 times more likely to be arrested, get locked up, and go to jail. I'm here to fight for every black kid in Camden. If you know, if you mess with the kids, you're going to get me. So guess what? I'm just getting started. I want you to know that this is my organizing here today. I called on my people on Facebook, and I ain't done yet. If you don't work here, we will be at your homes.
Amir Khan, 1300 Princess Avenue, Camden, New Jersey. It's a travesty to even hear about code enforcement being placed and having to report under the Camden County Metro Police Department. Residents of Camden don't trust those that are controlling the Metro Police Department. We all understand that George Norcross,
That's their daddy.
the freeholders, Lou Capelli, they are the ones that are over the Metro Police. If we have a person on the inside of Metro Police directing inspectors, we are hurting the residents of Camden, New Jersey. It's a great way for the county to make a ton of money from fines and violations. It's a great way for them to go ahead and take back the properties. It's gentrification 2.0. Thank you, Vida. It's also a way of silencing our voice. If you speak up, there will be an inspector at your house the next morning. I want you to know today I sat in the parking lot and recorded as each one of you came into City Hall, one at a time at 2 o'clock, 2:30, and 3 o'clock. You met with the mayor here and City of Camden, and Mayor Moran told each one of you to vote yes on this ordinance. I'm telling you right now, firsthand. I used to own the Royal Palace. It was a catering hall in Voorhees, New Jersey. Owned it debt-free. When I had a run-in with George Norcross, God is my witness, it's documented in Voorhees Township. Every 2 to 3 weeks, the inspectors came in to inspect my catering hall. They normally came once a year. Now so they came every 2 to 3 weeks. And they fined me and violated one citation after another. After several months, I couldn't afford it. I ended up giving up the whole place debt-free, called my manager who's been there for 15 years. I said, take the place, give me $1, it's yours. I walked away, and no more inspections after that. I used to own the old Methadone clinic building on Broadway. They did the same thing to me there. They did it to me at another property in Camden. I'm not talking about something I read or something you're trying to explain in this ordinance. I'm telling you something that I've experienced firsthand. Every resident in this place, they're concerned about an inspector walking into their place that's reporting through Metro that can turn around and be instructed to give them violations. I can walk into every one of your homes right now as an inspector and fine you $20,000 to $30,000 worth of fines right over that. I'm here to tell you, and I'm going to speak tonight real quickly. I know Sheila, I know Felicia can't go to this because they work for Metro. I'm going to speak to Curtis. I'm going to speak to Marilyn.
That's right.
And I'm going to speak to Angel.
That's right.
Vote your conscience. For once in your life, don't listen to George Norcross. For once in your life, don't listen to Frankie Moran. For once in your life, listen to the community. Listen to Camden. Listen to the community. United we stand. And by the way, I promise you, according to your document right here, I asked you, did you guys even read the J.P. Morgan report that you guys referenced? I'd be curious to find out from each one of you, did you actually read the report?
We've been at this a long time, but this time everybody answered the Facebook calls provided from myself. I came all the way from Atlanta to make sure that I didn't miss this meeting. Right now, there's more of us in the hallway than there's in here. Because they're making a noise that they heard us say over and over again. I'm tired of calling you guys liars and bigotry and cheats and thieves. I've come and confronted you face to face. I've signed complaints. The federal investigation that I put on George Norcross, the federal investigation I put on the R.E. Pearson, and all the other cases that went through. They're under investigation right now. It's a slow process in the court. But understand, it's not going to go away. And like Amir just said, the ones that know you're voting, you don't even read. If I could stand here and get 5 extra minutes to give you a competency test on what I read, I bet you couldn't answer a basic question of where this thing, who's paying for it. You don't know. You don't care. But you don't understand the ramifications. But let me give you a real point here. Right now, you're talking about putting something underneath for the Camden County Police Department. Do you understand I filed a charge against the police chief last year? And Frank Ruiz is the inspector. I'm not going to answer the question because I know how you play flip-flop and all that, but we're going to just answer the question for you because I already know the answer. I went in there because you can't use the public bathroom in the police administration building. It's a violation of the plumbing code laws. So I signed a complaint against comply to the ordinance, today you can go there and they will send you to McDonald's to use the bathroom. Do you see who you're trying to put inspections under? You're not above the law. None of you are above the law. And you got to stop this. If you don't stop it, you're going to cause whatever. You think you're my friend. You're not my friend. My friends are here. These are my friends. These are the people that every time we come up in front of you, we get exhausted and get put on a three-minute clock. This is ridiculous.
It's supposed to be 5.
I've stood in here and asked you guys about CPRs. For all this work that's coming here, millions of dollars. CPRs is the reports that's supposed to be every month that says how many people from Camden you hired. Ms. Spearman told me you don't even have an obligation to do that. That's a lie. I said it was a lie. So I went to HUD. What did HUD do? They came in and said, yes, you're supposed to have CPRs. In addition to having CPRs, you're supposed to show these progress reports. We don't have any. You guys have got to stop it. It's illegal. Next is going to be criminal charges on everybody.
Vance Coleman, 3149 Mountain Avenue. Kurt, I just want to, I'm not here to yell. We're not going to go back and forth. I just want to allow me the time to give you the facts because I worked in Camden County as a housing inspector, supervisor for 29 years.
All right.
And I just want to point out some things for you guys to have the information that you need to base your decision on. It's okay with you, Kirk? So, first of all, I like to say that chapter 418, or section 418:15, can anybody explain that to me? Can you tell me? There's no problem if you can't, business administrator.
Ask the president. Ask the president.
No, I'm not going, we not. Anybody answer that? Gotta look it up. Okay, while you looking that up, I'm gonna move on in reference to the exterior residential properties inspection. Okay? These are inspections done by housing inspectors. And these individuals work underneath the Director of Code Enforcement and Housing. That's where it goes in. Not code enforcement, not the fire marshal, because at one time, 3 years ago, when they came in, I said, don't do it. 3 years ago, you passed this agreement, right? And if it failed you, it didn't work, you had 6 months to say it's not working. You had it under the fire marshal at that particular time. It didn't work. Now you want to take it and give it to Metro that has no housing official certification, no multiple license, no fire official license. If it didn't work under the fire department, how's it going to work under Metro? I'm just giving you some facts. Okay? Then we talk about these monthly reports. Have any of y'all seen a monthly report yet? Anybody? Respes, have you seen a monthly report?
I don't know how they make it. None.
Pardon me? From the code enforcement.
I supply a monthly report to.
Okay, well, I asked you,
To the
I'm
mayor's
sorry,
office.
I asked you a question. I just want to know, through the chair, does anybody have a report stating what the finance was, inspection they did, and who did the inspections?
Talk about the sheriff's service agreement from 216.
So that's fine, and I understand that. Why you don't have it? Because for 3 years, they did nothing. You code enforcement under the fire marshal from the county, they sat on it. For the last 3 months, you know where they sat at? And Blackwood doing nothing, idle waiting for this to be passed. So let me just give you some information in reference to how this works. Why would you allow Metro Police Department to take over something they have no clue about? They have no information, no documentation, and don't have any know-how. If you want to place it somewhere, you place it under the director. You place it under Ron Stewart. They're the ones that where it should be housed at. Because when you go outside of that perimeter and do those kind of things, who deploy these individuals in the right directions and take the notes and do it? Right now, the county is working on a government pilot program Let me tell you how that works. If I can, Kurt. Just let me wrap up.
You got a lot of people behind you.
Okay, let me wrap up. Now they're working under this program that you can go on, email it, or you can call in, and they send it to the county or call to the county, right? Now, the county only inspect, right? They only cite the Public Nuisance Act, right? And that's sewage, right? And heat and hot water, heat. They send all the rest reports back to the city.
Okay, let them come on, man, because everybody can't.
Okay, come this is the last bit. This is the last bit. This is the last bit. No, this is the last bit. I got one more thing to say. I got one more thing to say, Kurt. And then, when it's a disciplinary problem, you enact the director to handle personnel. He's not dealing with your daily operations. He's not doing that. So what is his role when we pay him money to do just that? House these individuals and send them out and deploy them in the streets like they should do. Take place. And then I look here in your resolution, and it's funny, because it tells me something. One more thing, Kurt.
Finish on the public portion.
I'm just saying, it says the county, and the city will create a budget for the fiscal year 2020 by November the 1st, 2019. What that tell me? You already voted on it? So what I'm saying to you is, you didn't have a budget in 2016, 2017, 2018. Good. Let's be for real. But I'll be back. Thank you very much.
I'm a City of Camden Code Enforcement Officer. I'm standing here this evening in
Your name and address.
Charmaine Morris, City of Camden Code Enforcement Officer. I'm here with serious, strong concerns regarding the shared services agreement. We were, as inspectors, abruptly put out of our office. A day's notice that we had to be out, that we were going to be relocated to the police department. We're up in arms. For what? What's going on? Oh, we're going to have the Metro Police Department will be monitoring code enforcement.
So they already done it before they
We had no documentation, no official documentation. Nothing other than the fact that we knew we had to be moved out. At this point in time, we're not at the police station because it was just asinine that they relocated us there in a room about as big as a closet, no windows, no computers. We didn't have the proper tools to work and do our work. We're coming from City Hall, my supervisors to come from City Hall down to the police station to dispense the work to the inspectors? No. No. And I had some questions that I wanted to present to you. Has the shared services agreement been successful? Has it been successful? Nothing has been restored for the inspectors. We have nothing. We are working out of room 101, makeshift office. We're hanging in the balance. We don't know where we're going to be, where we belong. All I know is that I'm reporting to work. We are still consistently taking care of the city of Camden efficiently without enough staff. We are understaffed. And we are still completing the rentals and the procedures and things that need to be done within our office. Still, no word, no type of inclination as to what's going on. What is going on? What is going on with my position?
We need to have access to the JPM report findings. They were the micromanagers to come in and do what they did, fine. We need to know what the findings were. We don't know what the findings were. The Metro Police enforce the law. Code enforcers enforce the city code. I'm not a task force police officer. I was hired as a civil servant, code enforcement officer for the city of Camden. So I'm going to say.
My name's Toledo Levy. I'm a code enforcement officer for the city. I'm a code enforcement officer for the city of Camden. I've worked here for 14 years. On September 26th, we were abruptly moved from our offices without any notice at all. It was very disrespectful, and we were told to report to Metro Police Department with the county, and we were given an orientation of the county police building. We were also given, I would say, not duties, but we were given assignments that were basically telling us that we were to, what was it? Right, I apologize. However, we were given orders, not orders, but we were told that it was a military type setting. And we were to actually like move to the side when we're in that building. We're to salute officers when we see them. Mind you, we were hired as civil servants to do. Yes,
That's
we
how
were-
they
we
used
were
to do
told
the
that.
ones.
We were.
That's how they used to do the old cops.
However, as my colleague said, we are not a task force. We've been doing our job, and we've been completing our assignments in a timely manner, and we've been successful with our workload, even though we are very much understaffed. We have 3 full-time employees that have retired, and they had gone on, with their own duties. However, it just puzzles me to know that